This is everything we could have asked for as a huge shakeup in the lineup propels the Sharks past the Hurricanes in a very dominant win. In this video, we're going to break down the advanced analytics on this line and talk about if they should keep it going forward, and also dive into Macklin Celebrini and how he continues to etch his name into the record book. So you're not going to want to miss this episode of Sharks Digest. But before we dive into everything here on the channel, we want to say, if you're a big Sharks fan, you want to stay up to date on the latest news around this team, we're your home for it here on YouTube. Make sure down below, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and we'd love to have you in the best community here on YouTube. But with that said, we got to dive right into this Sharks team who had a big game last night, winning 4-1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. A lot of people maybe didn't have the Sharks beating the Hurricanes last night because of how hot they've been this season, but the Sharks go out, score an early goal, and they never really let off the gas from there. A big game in net from Nedeljkovic, earning the first star honors via Sportsnet, having 29 saves and a .967 save percentage. Big night from Ned. A lot of big stops from him in this game. Second star going to John Klingberg. 1 goal, 1 assist. Great to see him get on the board as well. And then Macklin Celebrini, a goal, empty netter at the end of the game. And also 2 assists to boot. 2 great assists at that. One to Colin Graf that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But it is great to see Nedeljkovic come in here and, do his backup duty and have a .967 save percentage, only allowing 1 goal against a hot offense like the Carolina Hurricanes. So great to see that, and I think him playing so well kind of led this team, he led the momentum in this team to let the Sharks go. And, when you give a goaltender an early lead like the Sharks did last night, it does give him a little bit of a, added bonus and a boost for that game. And I definitely think we've seen that with Ned last night, which was great to see. Another scary moment in this game last night when Celebrini was cutting to the front of the net. His blade almost cuts Jackson Blake, who was diving to block the play. It's kind of a freak accident, nothing intentional there, but definitely something that, maybe we should start thinking about warranting neck guards in the NHL. I think I'm on board with that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but here we look at the game score breakdown for the team. Macklin Celebrini leading the team last night with a 4.79 game score, which is absolutely ridiculous. Colin Graf coming in at second among forwards with 2.65, obviously scoring that early goal. And then look at John Klingberg and Mario Ferraro down there for the defense. John Klingberg with 3.3, Mario Ferraro with a 2. This is great. Seeing the Sharks team almost all be positive in game score is what you want to see, and it just shows how well this team played as a cohesive unit last night. It all really started with Ryan Warsofsky making a surprise move and throwing Colin Graf up on this top line with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. And boy, did it work. It connected early, 33 seconds into this game with Smith to Celebrini to Graf, who just taps it in on the back door. And let's just look at the advanced analytics of this line this season. As you see here, I kind of have it circled. I tried to with my finger. I'm not very good. I'm not an artist, but Macklin, Celebrini, Smith, and Graf, as you see, they are ranked 13th among the lines right now. They've only played 15 minutes together with a 52.9% expected goals, which means 52% of the time when they're out there on the ice, there's going to be a goal happening. And I mean, that's pretty great to see compared to the Toffoli, Smith, Celebrini line. Their expected goal, yes, it's a lot more minutes. It's like 247 minutes they played together this year, is at 42. I mean, they are just above them in 15 minutes, but, it's just because they had such a great game last night and they created chances early, and Celebrini was setting up Klingberg for 1 goal as well, and I think that maybe boosted the numbers a bit, but it kind of makes you think, hey, should this line keep going, and should Ryan Warsofsky try this again in the next game? Because we know how good the sleepover line has been in San Jose. It has been so much fun to watch, and getting a shake-up like this and getting a big win, I think you definitely keep the ball rolling here, because it wasn't like Toffoli dropped down and had a bad game. He still had a decent game for San Jose last night. So, it's definitely interesting. I think it's an interesting move that they put Graf up instead of Eklund, but it worked, and you can't knock it before you try it. And this is what Colin Graf had to say about the goal last night. He said, honestly, I didn't really see it at first. I was going to the net, and it hit me on the tape. Graf said, as Celebrini passed it to him, it's pretty impressive. And obviously, we know how impressive Macklin Celebrini is, and he's going to make anybody who's on his line even better, and that's what he seems like he did with Colin Graf last night. Maybe a guy who's just been bouncing between the second line and third line all year, and is having a pretty solid season. I mean, he's not a point per game player. He's been a half point per game player at this point, but I like what I see out of Colin Graf. I really do think he's going to be a staple of this bottom six for the San Jose Sharks going forward, and I really do think that Warsofsky is going to have this line out there again just because of how great the offense was last night. I don't think you knock it. You don't knock it until it doesn't work, right? You got to keep it going, and I really liked it. So hopefully we get to see this again in the next game. And something interesting about the Sharks right now is this is the goals above expected as of December 7th, and where the team ranks above, where their goals are expected. And right now, San Jose ranks 8th in the league with 0.5 over their goals for expected for this point in the season, meaning they're averaging they're half a goal over what the analysts had as their goals, which is great. I mean, whenever you're above the average, it's going to be great. I mean, you see Chicago up there with almost 10 goals above their average, but where they would be at this point in the season. But it is great to see that the Sharks are on track of what they predicted, and they're even above that. So there's chance for even this to keep going up and up. I mean, they're scoring more goals every game. I mean, it seems like they're scoring almost 3 goals a game at this point. But it's great to see this team be up there. But now we got to talk about Macklin Celebrini. I mean, we're going to talk about this guy almost every day here on the channel because of how good he is. I mean, just if any of you guys are into the hockey card collecting, his cup cards are going for like $25K. That's how popular this guy is right now. And I think it all shows to this. I mean, he's played his 100th career game last night. Through those 100 games, 40 goals, 66 assists, which, puts him over a point per game in those 100 games. 3 career hat tricks, 7th all-time in points through 100 games among teenagers. I mean, this is just another stat to add to the Macklin Celebrini briefcase or showcase, I guess you could say, because he has so many records now and he's up on so many lists at this point that he just adds his name again. He's the 7th most by a teenager, which, the NHL's been around a long time. When you're up in the top 10 for anything, just shows how great of a player you've been. And I mean, it's just, Celebrini is just, he's just a magician, right? Like, even last night, the goal he set up Klingberg, he comes down the net, sees Klingberg cutting, hits him, boom, it's in the back of the net. Beginning of the game, 33 seconds in, he just puts it down back door, hopes Graf is going to be there, and he's there to tap it in. He just sees the game he plays it like chess, he sees ahead, he plays the game ahead, like he knows where people are going to be on the ice, and he puts the puck there for the people to be there. His vision is just insane. And I mean, this is the list here of the most 100 points through the first 100 games played. This is among active players. This isn't even among teenagers. You see him 6th on this list with 104 points. That's only 4 points behind Connor McDavid, who obviously is probably the best player in the league right now. I mean, Nathan McKinnon could be rothering him there in that conversation. But, a lot of good names on this list. I mean, Kaprizov, there's Evgeny Malkin, Ovechkin, Crosby. There's so many great names, and when you put your name up on a list with all these players, you've seen the careers that they've had. You've seen the career that Crosby's had. You've seen the career Ovechkin's had. You've seen the career that McDavid is having. This just shows how great of a talent that Macklin Celebrini is going to be for this team going forward, and how big of a star, not just in San Jose he's going to be, but in the NHL in general. Speaks volumes for this team, speaks volumes for the direction of where this team is going, because a lot of these guys on this list, I think, besides 2, are Stanley Cup champions. So maybe this is, foreshadowing a Stanley Cup in the future of the Macklin Celebrini. I really hope so. I'd really love to see one go to San Jose, but especially with Macklin Celebrini leading the charge in that category. And this is another stat category as well, where it's just most points from a teenager in a season through 30 games. Macklin Celebrini adds his name up on the list again with Wayno and Sidney Crosby. And in this one, he is outproducing Connor McDavid at the same age. So, this is big. This is big news, for Macklin Celebrini, for Sharks fans in general, that this guy is outproducing Connor McDavid. And you see how great Connor McDavid is. You've seen what he's done for the Edmonton Oilers. He's brought them to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals, yet they haven't won. But that's what he's done, and that's the type of player Macklin Celebrini is. I do think, comparing teams from Celebrini to McDavid, I do think that the Sharks have built a better team than the Oilers have, and I think that means they're going to shape up well for the future. And when they get to the playoffs and they get to the years where they're competing for Stanley Cups, a lot of their players are going to be fully developed, and they're going to have a way better lineup than what, some of these rebuilding teams are going to have. I see years of the Montreal Canadiens and the San Jose Sharks battling it out in the Stanley Cup final in my future. At least that's where I'm putting them at. But definitely interesting game last night from the San Jose Sharks. Definitely a great shakeup in the lines from Ryan Warsofsky after having, back-to-back losses. They come out, they make a change, they get a win in a big way. Early goal leads to a lot of success for the San Jose Sharks team. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you keeping this line together? Because right now, I'm definitely keeping it together, at least for another game. If it fails, you make the change on the fly on the bench, and you put Toffoli back up on that top line. But definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed, like I said, leave a like. Comment on the video. We love hearing from you guys. I love reading through your guys' comments. It means a lot. And we're back. And if you want to stay up to date on the Sharks, latest Sharks news, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. Join our awesome community here. We'd love to have you. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.